Welcome back. In the previous part, we implicated Emma as the murderer of Marshall, which is, yay? We found the truth, but it's not kind of what we wanted, but at least we found the truth? Yay! So anyway, February 25th, 12:06, District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 2. Sorry, Edgeworth. I didn't mean to get you in trouble. Don't worry about it. This is my problem, not yours. Yes, he's a bit of trouble because he kind of, flubbed, is the best way to put it, flubbed a case as a result. Even though they probably got the right guy, it's like the evidence was faulty. Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. I guess I am. I'll come back later. Is he got? That's it? Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? He looks so down. You got a lot of nerve, pal. Making a detective run all around while on duty. And to top it off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. I take it Lon is having you run errands again. Let me tell you, this is the last time, pal. Yeah, she asked me to give you this if there was a break in today's trial. Evidence law. I like how there's like a little chickadee there. What's that next to? Oh, it's like a plant, isn't it? Next to it. Yeah, there's a little chickadee. There's like Sherlocky hat and a pipe. It's cute. Evidence law. Edgeworth was talking about this just the other day. You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Is that right, Mr. Wright? Seems so. You could at least study some evidence law, really. The chief prosecutor also wanted me to give you a message. Could have read that as massage. A massage? She said, if you're planning to take him on, you're going to need this book. Him? I guess I'll need to give this book a thorough read. Evidence law securely slipped into pocket. Doesn't look like that book'll do you any good now, though. What's left now is the chief prosecutor's sentence. That's where you're wrong, detective. Huh? Haven't you figured it out yet? Why I'm still sitting in that prosecutor's seat? Despite all the allegations being thrown at me? Mr. Edgeworth? The real trial today hasn't begun yet. What? What else is there left to do? Your credibility's been all but ruined with this forged evidence you were unaware of. Emma Skye found out she was unwittingly caused a man's death, and now you're telling me you want to do more? You've got to be kidding me, pal. You're missing the point, detective. Lana didn't murder Detective Goodman. She merely struck a knife into his dead body. That means the real killer is still out there. What? And we're going to expose him. No matter what it takes. It's clearly Gaunt at this point, isn't it? This case has hurt too many people. It's time to bring it to an end. February 25th, 12:52, District Court, Courtroom number 9. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor. The inquiry committee is planning to impose harsh penalties for your actions. Thank you for the news, Your Honor. Yes, well, normally this is where the prosecution calls for witness. But, this is easy to say. You see, there is some concern that you, Mr. Edgeworth, may have, struck a bargain. You think I may have manipulated the witnesses? I didn't say that. It's just, you see, everyone has been talking and, Well, Your Honor, I have a solution. A solution? That being the case, The prosecution will allow the defense to call forth all further witnesses. What? There's no precedent for what you're proposing. Undeniably, this is an unusual arrangement, but a very effective one. It would prove that I haven't struck any deals with the witnesses. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say? No, I refuse. Forget it. Unbelievable. Medruff has found a way to continue the trial. Very well. The defense accepts the prosecution's proposal. Then it's settled. The defense may now call forth the next witness. Mr. Wright, you do realize this is your last chance. If you call the wrong witness, this trial is as good as over. The defense calls. Time's finally come to bring out the real murderer. Well, it's right on him, isn't it? It's clearly gone at this point. Like I said, it's clearly. He's hiding things and manipulating things behind the scenes. Take that! Damon Gaunt. The defense calls Damon Gaunt to the stand. Damon Gaunt? What does he have to do with anything? Everything. As the defendant, as a partner 2 years ago, Mr. Gaunt has first-hand knowledge of the crime. I feel we should hear what he has to say about it. As luck would have it, he should still be in the courthouse. He would also be the least likely to have been manipulated by me in any way. Wouldn't you agree, Your Honor? True. Alright, bailiff. Please escort Mr. Gaunt to the stand. Witness, please state your name and occupation. What is this, some kind of practical joke? I was just on my way to lunch. Your name and occupation, sir. Worthy, are you sure you want to do this? Your name and occupation. So, you want to play hardball, eh? But please, Mr. Gaunt. Fine. My name is Damon Gaunt. I'm the acting chief of police. Acting? Now then, Chief Gaunt. The court requests to hear your testimony. Oh, righto. What's with the grim face? First, let's clear up this SL9 incident. Oh, you mean that time when Lana's sister murdered that prosecutor? Personally, I think it's been made pretty clear already. There are still some things unaccounted for. Oh, like what? Like the role you played in all of this. Son, either you're very brave, or very foolish. Probably foolish. You are aware, of course, that a police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. Weapons? Sure, take my testimony for example. I don't have to give it if I don't want to. What? Is that true? I'm afraid so. The chief of police has the right to refuse to testify. What kind of system is this? Of course, such an action carries with it certain risks. Don't worry, I'm not here to hinder your trial. Just remember, if this turns out to be a big waste of time, don't say I didn't warn you. Very well, the witness may now begin his testimony, if he wants to. As I recall, Neil and I were questioning him that day. To make a long story short, we slipped up. That power outage didn't help either. When I went to my office, I found Lana there. Apparently she had already arranged the crime scene. What do you mean arranged? As you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery. I'm thinking the last one and this one so far. Okay. Oh. So that when Dark was arrested. He was lying on the floor unconscious. Ow! When Emma sent Neil flying, it seems Dark bumped his head. I see, everything seems pretty clear-cut. If the police chief has the right to refuse to testify, then I'd better hit him hard and fast. Alright, so the last two is what I was thinking. As I recall, Neil and I were questioning him that day. Fine. To make a long story short, we slipped up. A power outage didn't help either. When I went... Wait, how did they slip up? When I went to my office, I found Lana there. Apparently she had already arranged the crime scene. What do you mean by that? How can you know that? Because of the victim's body. It had already been moved. So that means... we found the body near Lana's desk. That's right. Like you said earlier, it was my suit of armor that really stabbed the prosecutor. Yes. Anyway. Okay, as you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery. Alright. You're saying that the forgery had already taken place by the time you arrived at your office. That's exactly what I'm saying. I can understand how Lana must have felt. But moving a body and hiding evidence are inexcusable no matter the circumstances. Is that how it really went down? Starting at the witness won't do you any good, Mr. Wright. Staring. If you're going to star at anything, you'd better be off starring at the court record. Okay. Worthy, always the smooth talker. But which piece of evidence ties Gaunt to the forgery? Well, I did admit to forging evidence, but that can't be the whole truth. So I've got to link Gaunt to the incident. How? How? What? Huh. There's got to be a piece of evidence that was there at the time of the murder. So this would be there, and that wouldn't. So we got. Right. We got the trophy, the knife, the jar, and the piece of cloth. Is that's technically there, but it doesn't really tell you anything, does it? I don't know. So what piece of evidence could I use? I don't know. Oh wait, thinking about it. Do we have... I'm just thinking, like, do we have it as a thing, like what I just remembered? I don't think we do. Like, that there is like found in Chief Gaunt's safe. Evidence for something, but what? Bears Emma Sky's blueprints. Blueprints? I don't know if I got blueprints on. It's got her prints on it. Why did he have it? What was that one? It's... I want the safe. Like, just... I want the safe as the evidence, not these two things. It's like, it's just proving the fact he's got to be part of it somewhere, isn't he? Because he had the pieces, so where do we want to present it, though? As I recall, Neil and I were questioning him that day. But long story short, we slipped up. The power outage didn't help either. When I went to the office, I found Lana there. Apparently she'd already arranged the crime scene. I guess we could do it here? We'll go with this. This evidence clearly reveals the contradiction in that statement, Your Honor. How exactly are the evidence and that statement just now related? Because he has... what? They aren't, are they? Do I have to do it on the fifth one? Not at all. Mr. Wright, please think the facts over before making accusations. Okay, bro, it's got wrong statement, isn't it? I don't think that won any points with the judge. Apparently she had already arranged the crime scene. So that doesn't prove anything about the arrangement, but the forgery, how it's connected. Because that's when Worthy is going on about it, so we'll try then. If you really had nothing to do with the forgery, then how do you explain this? What's that? What's that on it? A handprint? Chief Gaunt, your explanation, please. Triple dotting. I don't know. You tell me, son. Huh? My dear Raito, don't you know the second rule of evidence law? Oh, not this again. Evidence law. All true, unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. Tell me, how is this rag relevant to this trial? It appears the defense was not prepared. I guess it's too early to use this piece of evidence. Please accept my profound apologies, Chief. Would you mind giving the defense another chance? Well, okay, I'll do it just this once, but only because you asked. Budgie. Judgy, yes. Thank you, I assure you the defense is terribly sorry. Yeah, sorry I didn't nail you. Right, okay, it's the jar then, isn't it? Because it's like, it's something that's already been presented that's bringing up his safe, there's what I'm after. So it's like, can't do that because it's not been part of the thingy. What's it? So let's bring up the unstable jar. Objection! You claim you had nothing to do with the forgery. But I'm afraid that is a claim you cannot back up. Explain yourself. Several pieces of evidence were found in your office. Take this jar, for example. That's the blue badger you showed us earlier. A piece of this jar was discovered in your safe. Not only that, but the evidence list I presented earlier was actually found inside your desk. Oh, I forgot about that. It was found where? You see, Chief Gon, these articles of evidence uncovered in your office are both concrete proof that you also played a part in the illegal investigation. Yes. Oh, fumbled that word. Oh, Chief Gaunt, what is the meaning of this? Oh, there's a defense attorney who may even rival Worthy. So you admit to it then, that you were involved in the forgery. Who, me? What do you mean, you? Me? Why would I even do it? Oh, you were the one who snuck into my office when you found this evidence. Damn it. Prosecutors aren't the only ones capable of forging evidence, you know. I was thinking this earlier. This sort of like the whole like they're allowing the defense to call forth witnesses. It's like, but Edgeworth could have bribed the defense. Defense attorneys can do so too. Isn't that right, Raito? However, Detective Gumshoe was present during the investigation. Worthy, my boy. Not even detectives are exempt from the law. Rest assured, Dick will receive his due punishment. What? Detective Gumshoe's salary drops any further, he'll end up paying to work. As well, in light of the detective's presence, please give us your testimony regarding these pieces of evidence found in your office, and their relation to the forgery that took place at the crime scene. My. Kids these days no longer know how to put two and two together. Evidence and forgery. Let's see, what was it now? A jar fragment and a list? For all I know, you could have planted them in my office. Yeah, but we didn't, mate. Anyway, you can't prove when those pieces of evidence were discovered. If they were found after Dark was convicted, then they're worthless. There's no reason I participate in a forgery. Erasing the crime scene wouldn't help me out in any way. Well, it would. Because the thing, if the murder took place at your desk, there would be more reason to implicate you in all of this, wouldn't there? Compared to if it's at Lana's. It just would. You'd be more suspicious of why was it over there rather than Lana's desk. That would make more sense. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. When investigating the crime scene, you should have been more careful to observe protocol. You do understand that I am the chief of police, right? There will be consequences. Indeed, I believe I will press charges, so you won't make the same mistakes again. My apologies, Chief, but would you mind waiting until tomorrow for that? Today is, well, you know, Alright, Archie. In return, though... I know, that place, right? Huh? What, are these guys telepathic? Okay, so the only one I really had anything to say about was probably the last one? For all I know, you could have planted them in my office. Like, yeah, I can't argue with that statement. Anyway, you can't prove when those pieces of evidence were discovered. Can I not, though? Is there any way I can? It's like, not really, as far as I'm thinking. It's like, yes, I could have planted them there, I could have got them from other locations. It's like, yeah, I think he's right on that one. It's like, nah, okay. They were found after Dark was convicted, and they're worthless. It's like, well, I see where he's coming from on that. There's no reason I participate in a forgery. I mean, there is. I didn't want that one to press. How can you look me in the eye and say that? Because I'm innocent. Remember? Who was it that murdered Neil? I'm not sure I care for the word murder here. But in the end, the person responsible for Mr. Marshall's unfortunate demise was Emma Skye. Well, now do you see? Okay, rearranging the crime scene wouldn't help me out in any way. Well, it would, because clearly what's happened here is you've orchestrated this entire thing so you have control over Lana. We know this. This is clearly what you're doing. Clearly. So this is, like, rearranging the crime scene has definitely helped you out, so. Really, Chief Gant? At the very least, there is one very large benefit you reap from all of this. Oh, I wasn't aware. What is this, benefit? That would, of course, be the position you have. Chief of Police. Exactly. Oh! The resolution of the SO9 incident secured your promotion to Chief. That in itself is sufficient motive. Oh, that's a good one. Huh? Do you really think I'm that incompetent? What do you mean? Even without that case, I was already in line to become the next chief. The resolution of SL9 really sped up the inevitable a little. You know, it's not about chief of police position, it's about Lana, isn't it? It's like it's having sway over Lana. Because then she got her promotion to, or whatever, like transfer over to the prosecution's office. But now you had something over her that could implicate her sister, so she then protected her sister by working for you, essentially. That's what's happened. Is that true, Edgeworth? Yes. He was going to be made chief anyway. Be careful when pointing that finger, or you might wind up being the one pointed at. So that means there's only one possible motivation for you to commit forgery. You didn't do it for yourself, and you did it for someone else. Don't be silly, Worthy. You know me better than that. There are only 3 people I look out for. Me, myself, and I. And I don't like I. There. It's out in the open now. His eyes, then. Oh, gee, would you mind if I change my testimony a little? By all means, please do. I wouldn't be anyone's accomplice if there was nothing in it for me. I still think there is stuff in it for you. Nothing in it for you. Sorry, but the only person I care about is yours truly. That girl, Lana's little sister, was it? If you think I felt sorry for her, you'd better think again. You're right. You don't feel sorry for anyone. Be tough on crime and tough on people. That's how I was raised. You seem to be lax enough on yourself, though. Oh, that's a good one, Worthy. But there had been something in it for him. Given his selfishness, would he have helped someone out? Yes, he would have helped out Lana for the reasons I've said previously. true, you might not help out anyone for their sakes. But if it would benefit you, you might decide to assist someone. Mr. Wright, it appears you're positively determined to portray the chief as a nice man who likes to lend people a hand. That's not what I mean. Very well then. Who is this person you believe Chief Gaunt may have helped forge evidence? Well, that's clearly obvious. Angel Star. Take that! Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye, the defendant. I believe it's quite obvious in light of the circumstances. Emma Skye fell victim to an unfortunate series of events. Who would want to help her more than her own sister, Lana? And as for Chief Gaunt, he would also have a reason to help Lana if she asked him to. That reason, of course, is self-profit. Self-profit? What do you mean? After the SO9 incident was resolved, Lana Skye was appointed Chief Prosecutor at the Prosecutor's office. And the person who arranged this job change was you, Chief Gaunt. But how would he profit from all of this? He would be able to use Chief Prosecutors as his puppet, the Chief Prosecutor as his puppet. Yes. Essentially, he would acquire unchecked authority over all investigations. Do you mean to tell me that despite the Chief's formidable appearance, he plays with puppets? Oh wait. You must mean puppet as in someone forced to do his bidding. Never mind. Admit it, Chief. You assisted Lana Skye in forging evidence. Your motive, to appoint her as Chief Prosecutor so you could control her. Right-o, my boy, you have quite an imagination. Let me ask you something. What? Do you have any proof of this? That I controlled Lana? For example, is Lana testifying that I could have done such a thing? Lana. She's keeping quiet to protect Emma. There's no way she'd testify against Gaunt. I'm afraid without any proof, this all amounts to nothing more than mere conjecture. Unless... that is also what happened in this incident. This incident? Which one would that be? The murder? The what? You pay attention! Of course I'm talking about the murder of Detective Bruce Goodman. The Chief Prosecutor has been acting strange throughout this entire trial. Almost as if someone has been controlling her. Worthy, you'd better watch your tongue. I wouldn't want you to get hurt. Because what do you mean? What he means, Your Honor, is that Chief Gaunt is involved in the murder of Detective Goodman. Not only that, the Chief is now making Lana take the rap to cover up his involvement. What? What? Oh, this is a long waltz. Oh. Order. I said order! Did no one hear me? I said order. Mr. Wright, you can't be serious. Huh? This is an affront to the highest ranking officer in our law enforcement agency. Accuse the Chief of Police of blackmail and murder? That is impossible. Your Honor, I was merely reiterating what Mr. Edgeworth said in an easier to understand language. It's too late, Mr. Wright. There's no turning back for us now. It looks like he's the one who's decided to go through with this. Can you prove this, Mr. Wright? That the Chief, a high-ranking officer of the law, is involved in this murder? Good question. Regardless of his rank or title, Chief Gaunt is just a man. The question is he a criminal? I believe the evidence will tell. I see. Alright then. Let's see what Mr. Wright's got, and it better be good. Shows us evidence that ties Chief Gaunt to the murder of Detective Goodman, So, right, what we got? Oh dear. So we need evidence that ties Gaunt to Goodman. Let's go through. So that's not going to do anything. ID badge. I don't see how that would. It's like, it's just that sort of like, what connects Gaunt to Goodman? None of that. I don't think there's anything in there. Single stab wound, like, I don't see anything there. Not the note, not the phone. Floor plans isn't gonna do anything. Crime photo, maybe something in the photo. Don't see anything. The shoe isn't. Maybe the blue? Like, blue. Where did I get blue from? Maybe the blood. The knife. Was it his knife? No, it was Dark's knife, wasn't it? Cell name is written on a small tag attached to the knife. It was the weapon used in the incident 2 years ago, and has no many victims. I don't see anything else on it. Okay, I don't think that then. No. ID card. Maybe the 7s? I mean, we've still got this screwdriver to bring up at some point. You can't have given me it for nothing. It's just like that, like... AI-16 is written on the tag. That means it has nothing to do with the current case. But it has been presented in court previously, so we can use it, right? It's gotta come up at some point. Rubber glove, I don't see how that would. Is that Chief Guard safe? Just trying to think, like, the only thing I can think of is the safe again, which is like, I can't bring that up. I could bring that up again? See if that's it? Because it's just... no, because it's... well, no, there, think about it. I mean, it does tie... Oh, my mind's just all over the place with this. Because we did find the rest of the jar at the first place we thought Goodman had been murdered. So there is a tie there, isn't there? Whether that's the correct one, I don't know. So, like, why was the evidence there? But we still have that, but we can't present it because it's not been brought up. And the only other piece of evidence I can think of... Yeah, it's not that. Is the... 7s on that. Because that was obviously the password for the safe, so... It'll be one or the other, isn't it? Let's go with the jar, because that's the thing that makes most sense to me right now. Because it's like, we found the pieces of the jar in the first bit. The first murder that wasn't a murder and all that stuff, you know. Well, Chief, as long as Raito here is tossing out things regardless of their relevance, mind if I toss something too, Ajay? Could I not just... I feel like I want a bit where like, I can explain why I've chosen that and be like, no, this is how. I know it's not how the game works, but still. The shoe should do nicely. I'll chuck it right at you. Always were quite the joker, weren't you? Oops. Looks like I got it wrong. But ups me. Maybe this boot to the head will knock some sense into you. I know it's hard with all that's gone on during this trial. Try to think back to what happened in the evidence room 4 days ago. I am. That's literally what I was doing. That's where I went with the jar, because the pieces of the jar were there. Now that he mentions it, we did find something during yesterday's investigation. Something that proves Gaunt entered that room. It's the 7s, isn't it? Looks like he wants another one of your boots, Ajay. I see. Alright then. Let's see what Mr. Wright's got. And it better be good. Show us this evidence that ties Chief Gaunt to the murder of Detective Goodman. Which we will be doing in the next part. Because you know what I'm going to present. Because I haven't got anything else. It's they just brought it up there. It's like, that proves he entered the room. It's like, that. There you go. So, we'll present that at the start of the next part. Ta-ta for now.